We good? Hey, lights, camera, action. My name is Daddy, and I'm here for Speedhawk TV, and I'm here again with another episode, y'all. You know I can't leave y'all hanging today. Ain't no basketball till Thursday, but I do have some more topics that be happening on my mind. And today, as you read from the little description or whatever, I'm gonna talk about the Rio Olympics this year, 2016, and the Zika virus going in hand with that. So first off, the Zika virus, I just wrote down a couple of quotes they everywhere. I mean, a couple of points they everywhere around here. So, we got a new Facebook subscribe on the page. I get the notification. But Zika virus is mosquito borne. It was a mosquito virus. It's been around since the 1950s. Primarily, then it was in Africa. Let me put it up here so it don't look like I'm just looking down. It was primarily in Africa and Indonesia. It causes a disease or a little symptom called microcephaly. It basically just makes the head smaller, 2 or 3 inches smaller than what it should be for a normal newborn child or 1 or 2 year old. And they can start hearing impairments, their ability to eat food, also learning difficulties because when the head's smaller, the brain's smaller also. Yeah, so that's a big problem because if you think about it, once the disease goes out, you have children so you can repopulate. But then if the people that you're repopulating with are mentally unable, then you have a problem, and then it's just gonna be an ongoing factor. Or either that or the population growth slows all the way down. Then there's less people in the workforce. Yada yada yada. The World Health Organization deemed it a global emergency this past year, and it's basically come from a tropical mosquito, but the tropical mosquito, I think it's Egyptius, some scientific, and it kind of bred with a normal mosquito, a warm climate mosquito, but it really didn't breed. It's more like they bit a person, then the other mosquito bit them too, and they got the virus, and now they taking it, and that mosquito goes all the way up to Michigan, but it only bites in the morning and in the evening. So as night owls, we won't be able to get bit by them unless we wake the mosquito up. Pretty much. It's mainly in South America and the Central Americas, and it's around the equator. Basically, I'm just scratching this little scratch, and mosquito. It's basically around the equator in those warmer climates, and it's primarily in Brazil and all the rest of those countries down there in South America. Because most of they say there's like a lack of contraception down there. Not a lot of people use condoms and birth control and such sorts. So they're just getting pregnant, and they're already getting bit by mosquitoes because basically they've been getting bit by mosquitoes their whole life. But now it's a virus in the mosquitoes. Now it's a kind of problem because you can't go long pants in that warm climate because then you'll burn up. Then you got another problem, probably like heat stroke. But they taking a pick. But then they getting pregnant, and then they don't know if their baby gonna happen until the baby comes out. So once the baby comes out and you find out that your baby head is about this big, then it's a problem. The symptoms come with a fever, rash, and joint pains for the women and the men. Then it can be passed sexually transmitted. So if a man get to have sex with a woman, then next thing you know your baby got it. Or a woman get it while she's pregnant, now the baby got it. Or the woman could have been pregnant for 6-7 months, then get bit by the mosquito. Now the head starts to then the development of the brain or whatever stop progressing. So that happens. It can only be seen in the first week of tests. So if you get it, or if you get bit by the mosquito and you got the symptoms, because like the virus can get mixed up with some more stuff that's normally in your body, because your body normally has bacteria and viruses and such. But those viruses keep you alive or whatever and fight off other things like infections and so forth. So it can only be seen in the first week of testing. And most of us, we get a little fever or something like, oh man, my shoulder hurt. So you will look over it, and you won't go get it in the first week. Then you'll have to wait later on till you develop like the real symptoms when you're shaking and the rest of that stuff. Cause I think they compare it to dengue fever, if I'm saying it correctly. And the last thing I got, there's no cure for the disease. Most countries are refraining people from leaving the country, leaving that particular country, and going down to the countries with it. Like, say if you're in North America, we don't want you to go to Mexico or to go to Jamaica or to go to Brazil for your vacations or whatever the summertime. Just stay here and don't leave, because there's no cure. So the main thing they're focusing on now is containing. Just like y'all got the virus, y'all stay here. We're gonna stay up here and we're gonna keep our people safe. But on into sports related, the Rio Olympics held down there in Brazil is this year, and we have our people, and we're gonna have almost 200,000, almost 200,000 athletes down there. Not even athletes, but athletes. You know, their trainers, their families, yada 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 yada. Because it caught to my attention when Paul Gasol came to my phone through Bleacher Report that Paul Gasol said he wasn't going to go to the Olympics. Well, he thinking about not going to the Olympics because of the simple fact of the Zika virus. And he might be trying to have a sexual relation with his lady or whatever. And he won't be able to do that because if he gets the virus, then he has a child with a deformity. Now it's a problem. Now, what I think should happen, I think if you're an athlete of the countries that are not, you know, initially affected with the Zika virus, you should not go down there and endanger yourself in any way. I understand that it's the Olympics. It only comes every 4 years, and this might be your only chance, and you've been training the last couple of years, and this virus want to come around. But you got to think about it. It's this, and then it's your future. You get this Olympic medal, but then your chances of having children of such and such forth might be very severely damaged, especially if there's no cure. And let's say like in 1950, they eradicated the mosquitoes and then they didn't have the problem anymore, but people still had the virus, but it didn't get to spread like it is now. They say it's up to, they estimate 4 million people to get bit by mosquitoes. So it's going to be a very big deal. So I say if you're not from those countries, like if you're from Brazil, you from South America, you've been around these mosquitoes for this year or these like 10, 11 months that it's been out, you might as well compete in the events. But if you're from America, Russia, and such forth, you know, I think England doesn't have it yet, but France does. I don't know how this turned in. But, you know, if you're not from those countries, I advise people not to actually go to the country and gain the disease regardless of the gold medal, regardless of your country, your patriotism that you may have for your particular country, if you get what I'm saying. So that's the way I feel about it. You shouldn't actually go, but it is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Sometimes people, you know, I take that back. 8 years, it might be long. You might be in your prime right here, so. Because I know Carmelo Anthony said he thinking about not joining the Olympics. I think he shouldn't go anyway the way the Knicks set up, but he thinking about not going down there either. Because you know how him and Lala get down. They might want to have a little child, and he get bit by a mosquito, come back in the baby head. You know, sorry to say it, but I don't think it's a good lifestyle choice to go down there and get bit by a mosquito, and then next thing you know, you can't have children you can't have children at the rate that you want to have, because now you have a constant fear of, does my child come out with a deformity? Not saying anything against people with already deformity or parents who are dealing with children with deformities, but it's a serious issue when it gets to the point where, oh my God, we're finna have millions of people coming down here for this event. But then also the reason why I don't think they'll be able to do that, or why they're reluctant to say that, is because, you know, Rio probably built this big grand stadium. Not probably, they did build a big grand stadium and have all this stuff planned out, spend millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money, however they get their money, to build these stadiums and to get all these people here. And if it's not that many people there, not too many people gonna watch. If it's not the star power down there, they're not gonna watch. So especially for the outdoor events, all those that be going on down there, and if you don't have the athletes for it, then it's gonna be a severe problem. Like I don't know, like the racing, like the 100-meter dash was very interesting to me with Usain Bolt and all that. Now, what happened to Usain? Say he doesn't want to show up, even though I think he's from Jamaica, and that's a country that's already dealing with it, but they probably don't deal with it as prominent as Rio will. So imagine trying to watch the Olympics without the star power that usually is there every 4 years. So I think that's why they wouldn't do it, because then they would leave Rio in a great financial hole. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's on the financial standpoint, the reason why they won't do it. politically, I don't see how what they don't think they actually care, because everybody trying to focus on why Donald Trump's finna get in the election, not trying to stop this global pandemic that might kill everybody. Well, not kill everybody, but damage the future of the country itself. So I don't think they'll probably tell the athletes not to go down there. It's gonna be their personal choice. But me as the president or somebody, whoever over the health, the CDC in America, I should strongly advise the athletes not to go down there and compete this year. I know how hard it'll be for the athletes not to go down there and trying to win a medal, something that you rarely get to do in low income for the athletes itself. But if you're thinking about, like I keep reiterating, if you're thinking about the future, I would not go down there and go join the events. But that's what's going on right now in Rio, and with the Zika virus being prominent and still the way it is, and there's still no cure. I've gave you my points, my outlines, what I think should happen, what I know probably will happen. That everybody probably still end up going down there just because of the simple fact that it's the Olympics and you only get a couple times to go down there and win one. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna have the prediction. I'll probably still be wearing the same clothes in that video because I'm gonna make it tonight and upload it a later date so I don't put out 2 videos in the same night. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna upload the Golden State versus Cavaliers finals prediction. Then I'm gonna come back with my game one. So yeah, that's a little schedule for you guys. I'm on point. But my name is Daddy. I'm Speedhawk TV. Check that outro.